Hello and welcome. My name is Carsten Lützen. I'm an agile coach and a facilitator, coach, whatever we call it. Today I will share another liberating structure called Generative Relationships, also known as STAR. And if you like these videos, please consider to subscribe and share. That would be super awesome. Okay, so as you know, I'm a huge fan of liberating structures, and a lot of these have some underlying common mechanics, and we will also see it in this one. This exercise is a great conversation starter, or a great way to get started in teams or in working groups or whatnot, to talk about what is it that we see and how is it that we can improve in our team. And it does so by having this STAR model with 4 different labels, and then we dive into each of these. So what you're doing is, if you're going to facilitate it in a workshop, is having a printout of the model for each participant. If it's physically, if it's virtual, then you just have it in a virtual whiteboard or something, so everybody has their own space where they can reflect on their own right. And then you need to have one big one in the center of the room where you can collect all the data and the inputs later. Okay, so if we start looking into these 4 ones, separateness is, think of it as diversity. So as a group, as a team, what is our separateness? How diverse are we? With 1 being low and 5 being high. You can also, if you would rather have, you can just write low and high. It's up to you, right? It's just to get some kind of measurement or data point put on it. Tuning. How good are we to actually listen to each other? Like really listen. Tuning in. Also talking. If everybody's listening, then maybe not much is happening, right? So 5, we're really good. We're actually good at tuning in on each other, figuring out what is it that they're trying to communicate and internalize it, right? Action. How good are we at working together? And this, how good are we as acting as a team? So when we have an idea, is it just that we run out as individual consultants, or do we actually solve it as a team? And do we know how to solve it as a team, right? And the 5th one being reason is, do we have a reason to work together? Do we have a reason to be in this constellation, whatever that constellation is? Or is it just some random decision that put us in the same team and in the same room? That might be. So what we are doing is that we are introducing this model to our participants first, to make sure that we have the same understanding of these 4 axes, right? And then we ask people to individually and in silence take their little model and then reflect, how do they see us on these 4 axes. So for instance, let's say that I'm in a team. We're just a newly formed team. And as far as I can see, we have some diversity, but maybe not a lot. So I would probably put it here in the middle. We are maybe missing some cultural diversity, and that could be a problem later on. Tuning. How good are we to tune into each other? Well, we have me and the team, and I like to talk quite a lot. So that might pull the entire team down here. And we also have 1 or 2 more like me on the team. And so maybe our tuning in is not that high yet. Action. Do we know how to work together? We do, because we have actually worked a lot together already in other circumstances. So we know how to work together, and we know that we can do it. Do we have a reason for doing so? Yes, because we have a pretty good product vision. Why is this the single most important thing since sliced bread? So give people 5-ish minutes to sit, reflect, take some notes on these 4 axes, put it in their model, and then have them in pairs where they look at each other, share why have we been doing it like this, and then once the pairs have been talking, we then invite them into groups of 4, so each pair finds another pair, and then we start to look for patterns and discuss these thoughts, these ideas that pops up when we see this, right? Now it's up to you to then, at the end, debrief in the room. What is it that what are the patterns that we see, right? And put it on the big one for everybody to see. And then it's a really good idea to actually follow up with, for instance, a 15% solutions. So with this, what would a good first step for me be on how to improve this team? And then do the classic 15% solution. You can also just do some maybe 1-2 for all debriefing of this. Why is it that we should care, or a 4-2-1 snap? So there is a lot of possibilities on how to follow up. And all in all, the time spent on this is often around 25-ish minutes. So it's actually quite fast to get the conversation started. That's it. I'm hoping that you, if you have used this, will share how have you used it and what have you used it for. That would be awesome. And as always, if you have comments, questions, ideas, or feedback to these videos, please leave them in a comment or send them to me. That would be really, really awesome. And that's it. Have a super awesome day.